Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to everyone. Welcome back to the K Plus Podcast, episode 8. Episode 8. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing quite fine. I hope y'all having a good day too. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember our goal. We have 37 subscribers right now. 37. Remember the goal by the end of the year. By January 1st, 2025, we gotta get that 100 subscriber mark. We gotta hit that. That's the goal. That is the goal. 100 subscribers. So please like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I got content coming weekly. I got weekly content. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Hope you guys are doing well. We are going to get into it. Before I get into the main thing of the show, I just wanted to talk about, what everybody's talking about, the election. Well, for me, as of right now, when I'm recording this, election was yesterday. And Donald Trump is once again the president of the United States of America as number 47. He was 45th. Biden's 46 now. He's 47th. He's president once again. I'm going to just say this. Donald Trump probably pulled off one of the biggest political comebacks in the history of political comebacks. Let's just go over the history timeline here. Trump has been accused and possibly supported the riot in the Capitol on January 6th. He was convicted of his crimes earlier this year for all the crimes he's done. I think 34 counts of multiple different counts and so forth. They tried to take his life too. They tried to kill him. They tried to assassinate him, allegedly. They tried to assassinate Trump this year as well. And all of that, and he still came back and won the presidency once again. Hey, that sounds like a comeback to me. That sounds like a comeback to me. I'm going to read the Electoral College votes here because I should have it right here in my thing. You know what? I always have the stuff on my screen, but it always leaves when I need it. So right now, the Electoral College's votes so far, Trump has 292. Harris has 226. It kind of looked like she was making a big comeback, though. Trump always had that lead, though. When you look at those Electoral Colleges throughout the night, you could always see. I stay up all night. I'm a night shift guy, stay up all night, so I'm always up at night. So Trump always kind of had that lead with the Electoral College votes. Harris was always kind of lagging behind, but she was making a little comeback, but just not enough. I'm going to post the thing here up here as well so y'all can see too. I see a lot of red here. I see a lot of red. Didn't expect Florida to be so red. But I do see a lot of red. And so forth. I see a lot of red. It would have been nice to see Miss Kamala, have a chance to show us what she can do and so forth, but the people have spoken. Out of our hands, out of our control. Everybody has their different views and so forth, political views. I do hope he does a good job, for the benefit of the people, of course. Hopefully it's not strictly about revenge and so forth. They're going to do what they want regardless. Out of our hands. We can't do nothing. We can't change it. Out of our hands, out of our control. Let's not get too stressed out over it. May not be the choice we wanted, but it happened. For those who wanted a Kamala or Trump, everybody voted. Everybody did their part. And this is the thing we got. Regardless of anything, God is still good. And I will leave it at that. So, on to the main topic of the show here. Also, let me not forget, shout out to my boy Clay. I didn't forget you, Clay. Shout out to my boy Clay. I did not forget you. I don't want to hear it again. I did not forget you. Shout out to I hope you got that loan for me, though. It's an inside joke, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Just shout out my boy Clay in the comments. But don't even worry about that inside joke. It's okay. It's okay. I think I'm ready now. Am I ready? We ready to go on to the main topic of the show? Are we ready? Boom. We're going to talk a little bit of finance. I am not a financial expert by profession, but I like to say I'm a little good with money, So today I really want to talk about avoiding debt in your 20s. I'm 24 years old, so I'm in the category. I'm very big on avoiding debt and so forth as best as possible. Never really took any finance classes and so forth. YouTube University is one of the best schools out there. I just want to discuss three things. Really and truly just three things in how I avoided debt in my 20s and things you guys can probably incorporate in your lives as well to try to, stay out of debt. Try to, because, I'm not really big on debt. I'm not really big on debt. I know they say you need debt to live and credit cards and good credit and all that's fine. All that is fine. I'm going to have a finance person come on the show one of these days. We're going to have a good conversation soon. It's in the works. Like I said, I got content coming for you guys. I got content coming on the way. I got a lot of things planned. But just, one day at a time. One day at a time, One day at a time. Sidetrack. Y'all, the dreads are coming in, guys. The dreads are coming. I look a little rough now. Just wait for that retwist. If y'all want to donate to the Karan's retwist fund, by all means, just let me know. If y'all want to donate to the retwist fund, let me know. Just let me know. Okay? Y'all got me? Cool. So yes, I'm not really a big guy on debt. So I try my best to avoid debt as best as possible. So I want to discuss the 3 ways on how I avoid debt in my 20s. And I'm going to start with number 1. Going to a more affordable school. College. So college is very expensive and can leave you in debt for years after you graduate. People are paying off their college debt 20, 30 years later. I don't want to be burdened with such tasks and so forth. I have no college loans. I have none. Praise the Lord, I have none. I never wanted to be burdened with such things and so forth. And going to a more affordable school really helped me. I attended the University of the Virgin Islands, St. Croix campus. It's a school back in my home for those who don't know. School back home in the Virgin Islands, where I'm from. That wasn't really my first choice. However, I'm going to be honest with you. I did wanted to go to a school in the States at the time. I had hoop dreams back then, guys. I had hoop dreams. You check. Y'all want one-on-one with me anyway. But I had hoop dreams at the time. I wanted to go to a school where I could play ball and wherever. I was looking at some schools in Florida, in the South, whatever. Wanted to try it. Oakwood, the school I wanted to go to, is an Adventist school in Alabama and so forth. Wanted to go there, born and raised Adventist. So I said, wait, it'd be cool to go to Oakwood, whatever. But as mom tell me, he said, hey, a lot of money, costs a lot of money. You check what he's saying. And, as I went through senior in high school, I realized, I said, I can't really afford this. Loans. So there's grants and so forth, but grants sometimes only cover you so much. From a young age, I realized, college loans is not really the path I want to take, and so forth. So I went to University of Virgin Islands. In school, I didn't have to get no room and board. Stayed with moms. I stayed with moms, so that was a good thing there. Really, only thing I needed to pay for was tuition. And with financial aid and so forth, UVI also had the free tuition and so forth. So much different grants. I feel like in the Virgin Islands, there's a lot of grants and stuff. At least when I was in school. Essentially, so that really mostly covered my costs for tuition, grants and so forth. Make sure I did well in school, get good grades, applied for scholarships, try to just keep on, having those pay for my tuition and so forth. So also as you're in high school, look for grants, wherever you live, grants, scholarships, anything to get your hands on, sign up for it, write that essay, write that paper, try to get that money so you could help pay towards your schooling and so forth. So that's another thing I would advise I'm going to speak for the stateside now. Try to attend a school in your state. But before I even get into that, I understand completely the college life. All those who wants to go to college and so forth, we all know what we want to do. We want to go to college, we want to get out of our hometown and go to a nice big school, enjoy the college life, go to the parties, the homecoming, the games and so forth. All that we want to experience in college. We don't, college is about the school work and so forth, getting a degree, but we want to have a good time as well. Nothing wrong with that. Completely fine. I'm all for it. I'm all for the college experience. I am all for it. Don't get me wrong. But in my case, I'm like, well, have fun 4 years and pay off all this money 20 years later? Or just chill out a bit, and be debt free to a degree. So I understand people wants to leave the hometown for college. But let's, for instance, say you live in Florida, this is a path people can take and so forth. when it comes to, and also remembering, I understand that the schools in your area may not have the major you are trying to acquire. That's completely fine. You have to go out, go out. But like I said, get those scholarships, get those grants. Try your best to limit and decrease the amount of loans you have to take out. The less you take out, the less you have to pay back. I know they keep talking about college loan forgiveness and all this hoopla. I don't know what they're doing with it. Don't rely on the government. Please, guys, go get your own bread. Go get it. Go get your own thing. Do what you need to do to get yours. Please, I'm begging you guys. Do not rely on the government. Don't rely on them. You do what you need to do to get yours. I'm gonna leave that at that, and so forth. So yes, if you, let's say, live in Florida, go to a school in Florida. A little pathway I think you can do. Let's say you're a, let me get a major. What's the average major? You want to major in business per se. Let's say you live in Jacksonville. You know, you could start off in community college. There is a plethora of community colleges in the States, and they're much more affordable than, going straight to four-year school. You go to community college, you do your 2 years there. There's a lot of grants for community colleges and so forth. Most times they're often more cheaper. I don't think community colleges really do dorms. You could stay at home, if mom and dad allows it, whatever. You have the opportunity to stay at home a little bit. Stay at home. Try and save that bread. Get your associates from a community college. Then you can move on to a bigger school. Jacksonville, I think, is University of North Florida. I think that's there. I'm not too sure. I have to look that up. But then you go on to the 4-year school. So you only have 2 years left, essentially. So instead of paying 4 years, instead of going 4 years to the big school and paying big school money straight off rip, you could kind of like decrease it. It's not going to completely make it free, but it's going to try your best to decrease the cost of your college career and so forth. Try your best to decrease the cost of a college career. As per an article on Bankrate.com, in-state tuition may save you an average of $17,890 compared to out-of-state tuition. So if you live in Florida and you want to go to UCLA, it's going to be a pretty penny. I think UCLA costs approximately $40,000 a year, give or take. You want to go there, you want to live in the dorms or whatever. I'm going to look it up right now. Because I know it's a lot, like UCLA. Out-of-state tuition, $43,000. I'm not even finishing that number. I'm not even finishing that. 43. In-state, it says 13. So you just look at the difference in the in-state tuition compared to out-of-state. It is ridiculous. I know we all want to travel. We want to leave home, whatever. But think of the money. I understand you want to have the fun now, but think of later. And hold on. It's not all hope is lost for traveling, because there is a program in college, I hope it's still there, that you can do to travel a bit. And that program, if you're in a local school and want to venture out a little bit, you can sign up for the National Student Exchange Program. That is essentially a program into where you can go to a different school paying the price of the school you're currently at. So you're not really, it's something in that degree. Y'all do your research on the National Student Exchange Program. You can go to your school while paying another school while paying your school tuition without paying all the extra money and so forth. There's a plethora of schools on the list. You could be living like me. At one point in time, I wanted to do it. So I would go to a different school paying like UVI tuition and so forth, and have lowered costs for dorms and so forth. So that was a thing there. You want try that out. You could do it for a semester or a full year. I think that's the max. So you could do 1 semester in this school, 1 semester in the next, or just do a whole year of schooling in another school for a lowered cost. So that's another way you can travel. There's a lot of opportunities in colleges for traveling, different programs, different events you could go out and so forth. So take part in all of that. But that's tip number 1. Go to affordable school. Try to find a way to lower the cost of your schooling. Can be a big way to help you avoid debt in your 20s starting off. Because once you bust out of college, they're gonna want their money. Tip number 2 for avoiding debt in your 20s: avoiding car loans. This is gonna be a doozy. I know. Avoiding car loans. I know this is probably gonna be difficult for a lot of people, and I don't blame y'all. When I say avoiding car loans, buying cars for cash, which means you may have to have a older car as opposed to the nice, vehicles. Before I even continue, let me go on. As per NordWallet.com, the average monthly car payment is $734 for new cars and $522 for used cars. Used cars, I would say they're referring to like 2020, 2021, that type of use, newer use per se. $734 car payment to me is absolute madness. Period. I don't even want to pay madness to me. It's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. There are people living check to check that if they did not have these car loans for the nice 2024 Lexuses, the 2023, 2024 Infinities, they would have much more breathing room in their budget and can be a little bit more free financially. We all like the nice cars. Now, me personally, I own my car. I own my vehicle. My car is a 2010. It's not new. Not the flashiest. I like it. It runs. It takes me to the same places it takes everybody else. I like nice cars. I like new cars too. Don't get me wrong. I love to see new cars. Sometimes I want one. Sometimes I want the new Honda Civic. Sometimes I want the new Accord. They look pretty. I love them. Y'all see those new Accords and Civics? They're nice. They're nice. Ford Ranger. Sometimes I want a new car and so forth. But I have to look at how much it's going to cost me alongside with car insurance. Kind of forget car insurance. I feel like a lot of people can be more, like I said before, can be more free if they didn't have car loans. My thing is, if you can't pay it in cash, you can't afford it. When it comes to a house now, kind of a different bit of a story, but that's another conversation for another day. I would advocate more people, to pay cash for their vehicles. You can find a nice quality car, save up 5 to 10K. You could buy a nice quality used vehicle like 2010, 13, 14, 15, 16, even 17. You could get up there and find a nice quality vehicle. And I'm going to speak on something I've seen a lot of people say, oh, used cars, they break down every month and you're going to end up paying more. Please. I understand. Not every used vehicle is a quality used vehicle, which is why you have to use good judgment. You go there, you test it out. If you don't know anything about cars, I feel like everybody in the family has a car guy. Everybody. 99.9% of people has at least one car guy in the family or knows one car guy who's a friend. Have them check it out. Test drive it, whatever. And so forth. But that's saying the notion that every used car is going to break down constantly, that it's a fallacy. It's a fallacy. I know because I drive them. Do they have issues? Sometimes, yes. Every car you drive is eventually going to have issues. Every car. But if you buy a new car and trade it in every year, you're not really leaving the car alone long enough to experience those issues. Every car breaks down eventually. Alternator may go bad, oil changing in a new battery. Cars break down. That's just a part of it. But to say it breaks down every month and that's the reason why you're buying a car you can't afford is madness. Because I could buy a car for $3,000, right? Let's say I buy a old Honda Accord for $3,000. Let's say it needs a new engine. I don't know how much new engines cost. Let's say the engine costs $1,500. $3,000 for the car, $1,500 for the new engine. Labor, let's say $2,000. Let's give it a nice round number, $2,000. $5,000 I paid for that. I'm still paying less than you having the 2024 Jeep Cherokee paying approximately $700 a month for. You got to put down a big down payment on it. I don't know, $5,000, $10,000, 20, maybe not 20, $5,000, $10,000. And you still got to pay it for it monthly with interest. And you still have to pay for car insurance. That's a lot. A lot of people would be much more free in their budget if they didn't have a car loan. If you can afford it, by all means. If you could pay the car loan and still have room in your budget to still save, pay your bills, feed your family, eat without relying on credit cards. Without relying on credit cards, go for it. It's just my opinion, though. Go for it, and so forth. But I would advocate people to, buy quality used cars. Sometimes we have to sacrifice the nice stuffs now, to better build us up for a better future and so forth. But once again, I like newer cars. Sometimes I want it. I like newer cars. Don't get me wrong. They're very pretty. They're very nice. I like them. Please don't get me wrong. But just try it out for a second. If you can't manage, I understand. But just try it out for a second. I assure you it's going to help you keep away from debt. It's going to help. It really is. I have no beef with credit cards. Personally, I have no beef with them. I just hate that we need credit to get things, good house loans when you want to buy a home. Which, no, that's the only loan that's one loan I'll allow, because ain't nobody has $400,000 in cash just like that, unless you doing some stuff you probably shouldn't be doing, or you're rich, or you sports player, rapper. Ain't nobody has $200, $300, $400 in cash just like that with excess to purchase a home for cash, just straight up. So that's one loan. It's one loan I'll allow. That's one loan I will allow. Put on a nice down payment, pay your payments, whatever. Boom. Do what you got to do. But yeah, I just, credit. We just need it, whatever. I don't really care for credit cards. But you need it, so I guess we'll just go from there. But yeah, really and truly, just buy the used cars, guys. There's quality used cars out there. You could buy a nice 2016, 17. Yeah, it's probably a little 10 years older, give or take 8 years. But you still have some of the features. You still get the Bluetooth. You might have Apple CarPlay. You still have the Bluetooth. Have all the nice features. It's newer. Still have the fancy stuff. Maybe not all the bells and whistles as a 2025 or 4. But it can still work. I say go for it. Try it. Buy a car for cash. Save it up. Take some time. Stack your money. Stack it. 5 to 10,000. You can find a nice car for 5 to 10,000. Or you want to just save the 20 and buy a 2020 or something. Go for it. That's what I advocate for. But don't get me wrong. I don't blame y'all. I don't blame y'all for doing that. That's one thing I'll. No. You save your money. Save your money. Be smart. Let's make the smart decision here. Let's make the smart decision. On to tip number 3. Ways to avoid debt in your 20s. Well, this can correlate with the first 2 that I mentioned, mostly the second. But this is a big thing I want to speak on. Living within your means. I'll repeat it. Tip number 3. Living within your means. You may ask, what does that mean? I'll explain. As per the internet, living within your means is when your spending and saving is less than or equal to your income. Living within your means can look like delaying a large purchase until a later day when you have earned enough money to pay for it. Approximately 40% of Americans cannot afford a $1,000 emergency. That sucks. Inflation, things cost a lot. Yes. I look at that and I said to myself, I don't want to be in that position. How can I avoid being in such position? Life happens. Life happens. I understand that. But aside from life happening, how can I avoid being in debt? How can I avoid that? Live within your means. Simple as that. Spend less than what you're making. You're making 50K, but you're spending 55. You're living above your means. Can't save nothing. Check what I'm saying? Having a car you can't afford. That's living above your means. I don't want to hear that you need a bigger car. I don't want to hear that. I really don't. A full-size sedan can hold 5 people. I don't want to hear that. You got to live within your means, guys. You got to live within. We cannot be living above our means. For what? For what purpose does it serve to live above your means? Who are we trying to impress? Oh, people that don't care? Who are we trying to impress? I'm big on living within my means. I'm big on that. You don't need the newest iPhone every year. You don't need the newest car. You don't need keeping up with the Joneses, they call it. It's the old term, but relevant still. We don't have to do all of that. See what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people can avoid debt if they live within their means and so forth. Really just, when it comes to shopping, try to shop, look for the sales. Do you guys still get coupons? I still get coupons in my mail and I use them. Call me what you want, but you can't call me broke. I use the coupons, you hear? I use my coupons. You can use that and so forth. Look for the sales and so forth. Living within your means can be, when it comes to housing. We're in our 20s, after a while we want to get out the house. We don't want to live with mommy and daddy no more. We want to get out, be on our own and so forth. I'm all for that. It's good for development, trust me. Look at me now, I'm paying bills. Help me. But, I know you want to get out the house and so forth, but when looking for an apartment, please, try to keep it within 30% of your income. Dave Ramsey, one of the biggest financial guys I watch, and in the world, if you don't know Dave Ramsey, look him up. He would say 25%. I'll stretch it to 30. Living above your means. For example, if you're taking home $3,000 a month and your rent is $1,600 a month, that's too much. That is too much. Because you're bringing home $3,000, you're paying $16,000, so you're more than half your money is going towards your rent. Food, gas, health insurance, well, that's probably will be within your check. Food, gas, car insurance. You may have debt to pay off, so you need some money to pay off your debts and so forth. And by the time you're done, you're not going to really have anything left. So you have no money really. So what we're going to do? We're going to lean back on the credit cards. And so forth. I don't want us relying on credit cards. Credit cards is just a tool for us to build credit so we can, buy a house or whatever. Credit is just a tool, at least for me. I don't want us relying on getting loans. I don't want us relying on that. I want us to be financially good. It's, like I said, life happens. Medical stuff happened. I'm not knocking anybody who had medical stuff they had to deal with. I'm not knocking nobody for that. Trust me, I'm not. And I'm not knocking nobody for any medical stuff that they had to deal with. I'm going to turn on my light because it's getting dark. This daylight saving time crap that they still do in 2024. It's very, I don't understand. You can't change time, guys. You can't change the time. Time is time. Time is time. How could you change time? How can you change? And you see, I hate when I need something done and it's not getting done. So explain to me, guys, why my light will not turn on. I think it's unplugged. Screw it. So yes, I want everybody, I would advise for people to live within their means and so forth. If the rent's too high in your area, try and find a more affordable apartment. You don't have to get the fanciest, nice downtown apartments that are ridiculously priced. I don't know how people live there. Where y'all working? Let me know. Where y'all working? Please let me know. Hook me up. Hook me up. I want to know. But, look for this. And sometimes the more affordable apartments, people are going to say, oh, they're in bad neighborhoods. I understand you don't want to live in a bad neighborhood. Trust me, I do. Safety is important. But there's neighborhoods not really bad. It's just not as pretty as the downtown apartments. It's not as, maybe the apartment that you could afford is not as modern. Don't have all the nice amenities. Don't have no new stove. Have older, trims and so forth. Maybe it's that. But you have a place to lay your head at night. And when it rains, you don't get wet. That's a blessing. Take it. And then you work to the point where you can afford such. But that's another thing. What comes with living within your means. Lifestyle creep. I must explain briefly what lifestyle creep is. Lifestyle creep is essentially, put it this way. You just got a raise for your job, or you just got a bonus, and then you go out and buy a brand new car. That is lifestyle creep. When you increase your earnings, you increase your lifestyle. You just got a new raise, you go out and buy a new car. You just got a new raise, you're going to buy a new phone, a new couch, a new stove. You don't need these things now, but you're making more, so you want to spend it. You're in the same position because you're just spending the things you just got. You're in the same position. See what I'm saying? So then you need to try to keep the lifestyle creep down. You get the raise, save it. Or, hear me out, you get the raise, spend some. Treat yourself. Buy something nice. Don't spend all. Put some to save. Invest some. You check? Pay your bills with some. Don't spend all. Don't fall victim to lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep causes people's problems. It does. I want you guys to try and live within your means. 2024 and beyond. Try to be frugal. I try my best to be frugal. But I'll admit, in my journey of trying to be frugal, sometimes I ended up being cheap. I'm a victim, yes, true. But I'm coming out of that, per se. I'm coming out of that. Frugal is essentially not really caring for all the extra, but it's nice to have nice things, you don't want to just buy the bare minimum. Nice to have nice things sometimes. Don't be cheap now. Don't buy the cheap product because it's cheaper. Sometimes you got to buy the more expensive quality products to prevent yourself from having to buy it again. I don't want us having to rely on loans to get us by, I'm scared and so forth. I understand people may have to use it. I don't. I'm blessed that I don't have to. I don't knock nobody that does. I don't knock nobody that does. Life happens. Sometimes we need the extra bread. Check what I'm saying. However, I don't want us relying on these systems anymore. Especially those just coming up out of college and so forth. So I speak especially for my college. I'm a college alumni. Check. I know it is coming out of college and, try and get your feet on the ground and, things happening and, they try to influence us to do this. Get this credit card. Get this. Boom, 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 boom. Just breathe for a second. Live within your means. Check. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses. Screw the Joneses. You don't have nobody to impress. I don't care. Don't care what people got to say about you. Don't matter. If you drive in the old Raga Civic and it's taking you from point A to point B, drive the old Raga Civic. You save your bread till you go buy the nice car. Don't let nobody try to shame you. Screw what they think. You have money in your pocket. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Live within your means. Try it. Try it. Live within your means. Live within your means. You don't need the downtown apartment. You need a place to live in a relatively safe neighborhood. I understand you don't want to live in the hood. You don't want to live in high crime areas. Sometimes that's where the more affordable stuff is at. Try to find the middle ground. Try to find the middle ground and so forth. You don't need the latest and greatest tech. If you have the iPhone 14, you don't need the 16. Please just leave it. I made a video on it. You don't need it. I assure you. One gripe I would say, when your phone runs out of space, you can't get it back. Therefore, you may need a new phone in that regard. I understand that. iCloud and all the crap. Try your best to live within your means. Okay? So I'm going to go over the tips I went through. Tip 1. Try to go to a more affordable college, affordable school, community college. Look for those grants. Look for those scholarships to try to decrease the cost you have to pay for these colleges. Go to community college. Stay in your state to get in-state tuition. Go to a college locally and stay in mom's house for a little while. Stack some bread. Do what you got to do. Try to go to a more affordable school. Tip 2. Buy cars for cash. Try your best to avoid car loans. At least expensive car loans. Your credit ain't that good to get a good rate. Build your credit up first. Buy the Raga if you need to get to point A to point B. Ragas work. I see Ragas on the road all the time. I see Ragas parked next to Bentleys. I see Porsches parked next to Ragas. We all get to the same place. You check what I'm saying. You may have to pay for some repairs here and there. it's still cheaper than some of these car loans people have. I assure you. Tip number 3, living within your means. Live within your means. You're making 60K, don't be spending 70. You're making 60K, try to spend 40, 45, 50. Try to just keep your expenses below what you're making. We have bills. We all have bills. Some of us have debt to pay off. I understand that. Look for the more affordable apartment. There are affordable apartments out there. There are. I assure you. I don't care what the media said. There's places. May not be suitable. I know there's a lot of people. But I assure you. Look. Go out and look. Drive around. Look for that affordable apartment. They may not all be at the internet. Sometimes you have to really look and grind to see. Check what you're saying. May not be the biggest apartment. May not be the nicest. May not be the most modern. But you have a place to lay your head. When it's cold out, you're warm. When it's hot out, you're cold because the AC works. Understand what I'm saying? Try and live below your means. Try not to rely on credit cards. Let's try to be debt free, guys. Let's try to be debt free 2024 and beyond. Let's try to be debt free. You guys hear me? You feel me? We're going to do it. A little fist bump for confirmation. A little virtual fist bump. I hope what I said today, I hope I gave some good advice today. Hope somebody can take what I've said and, apply it to their lives and so forth. I understand you may not you don't have to take my advice. You don't have to. Everybody has a choice to do whatever the hell they want. Period. But just trying to help. Just trying to help. I want all of us to do well. I get tongue tied. Want all of us to do well. Want all of us to succeed. You feel me? You feel me? Hope you guys enjoy the show. Stay tuned for more content. Episode 9 is coming out soon. 10, 11, 12. We're going to keep going. Remember our goal, 100 subscribers by January 1st, 2025. Help me reach this goal. We can do it. We can do it. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Be cool. Be smooth. I'm out. Peace. Have a blessed day.